right here on the Muskegon channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. Dave is doing some magic with his pen.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
It's
Any
almost
pen.
like it's bendable.
I know, it's
Wow.
crazy.
That was
I'm a
crazy,
witch.
dude. What a magic trick. Wow. Do it again.
Okay,
Do it again. Whoa, look at that. It's
yeah.
like magic. You're like David Blaine.
Except, this is way more magical than like staying in a box for 4 days.
Yeah, wow.
I would, yeah.
Wow. I would
He
put,
just ran out
I
of
would
trick.
put you on par with that other creepy Chris dude. What's his name? Chris
Chris,
Angel?
not Chris. Chris Angel. I was
Yeah.
gonna say Chris Isaac.
No, he's
I
just
find him
Chris
creepier.
Isaac's just cool.
Whatever.
You know where Chris Isaac deadheads? Cindy and me?
No idea.
We've traveled all over to see Chris Isaac.
Really?
Yeah. I think he's awesome. We've
Why?
gone to Meyer Gardens to see
Wait,
him.
you've
We've gone down
traveled-
to Meadowbrook Music Festival to see him. We've gone. I love Chris Isaac. I think he's great.
Wait a second. I mean, I've heard of people, back in the day traveling to Grateful Dead shows and Chris Isaac?
Yeah, if he comes around, I'll go see him anywhere.
Okay, so if he comes around, you'll go see him. You're not going to go travel to go see him.
Well, I'm not.
Dude,
I mean,
we're going to
I'm not
follow
driving
Chris
to
Isaac
Denver.
on tour.
But if he's in Michigan and it's happening, yeah, we'll.
Okay, what if he's in the UP?
Ooh.
You going to go across the bridge? Are you a true Isaac head? I don't think so.
We might make a weekend out of that.
No.
We might.
You're not the Isaac fan you
I
purport
really
to
like
be.
Chris Isaac. He's fun in concert. And do you know who's really got a connection with Chris Isaac?
Who?
Britta.
Really?
Yeah. She.
I guess it's not that surprising.
Britta's an amazing singer.
Uh-huh.
And back as just as Chris Isaac was getting ready to break big, he was doing things like he'd put on like a day-long seminar on how to improve your singing style, how to get noted by record companies and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Britta actually took one of those classes with Chris Isaac, so she's kind of got a little tighter connection with Chris Isaac than anybody else. But yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah, Chris Isaac fan.
Okay.
Bet you didn't know that about me, did you?
I didn't, and I didn't know we were going to spend 5 minutes talking about your affection for Chris Isaac either. I'm a little shocked, a little stunned, and
well, it's actually been 2 minutes and 34 seconds, and
Okay.
I seem to recall yesterday we talked for about 4 minutes about how you fed kids nothing but fat and sugar on Friday at the T-ball game.
It wasn't T-ball; it's coach pitch now.
Okay, well, whatever it
These are
is.
8-year-olds.
Whatever
Anyway.
it is.
Well, no, yeah, I thought they deserved a treat,
Yeah.
a real, actual treat for losing 13-2. I thought, you know what, they're going to they need to drown their sorrows.
Yep.
They're playing the best team in the league, and they took it on the chin a little bit. So I thought, here you go, children. Here's some Twinkies and some Hostess cupcakes and some Capri Suns. Comfort food for the children.
Right.
Okay.
So you did a great job teaching your kids how to trigger and then self-medicate with poison.
There you go.
Okay, all right,
Absolutely.
fine.
It's balanced.
Just making sure we're on the
Have
same
balance.
page. All right, there you go.
Absolutely.
Why don't you wow us with some news?
All right. I didn't do a news story on this, but I needed to bring it up because it affects you. It affects me. It affects a lot of people.
All right.
Today, the last day for Republicans to decide whether or not to push through marijuana legalization.
Oh, that's right.
For recreational purposes. I think it would be the smartest political move they could make, period. I don't think they're going to do it because I don't think they really understand their voting base anymore, because most Republicans are basically libertarians now. So and nobody cares, people don't care about pot and they don't care about gay marriage on the right. They just really don't. There's a lot of noise, a lot of bluster. They don't care about it. So if you're smart, you push that through. You get the potheads to stay home come November, and it's a win-win for you.
Okay.
What say you?
I think that if they were to do that, I think it is tantamount of Marie Antoinette's days of let them eat cake. I think it would be one of the most exclusive moves that you could possibly do. And I don't mean exclusive, and I don't mean exclusive in the fact like, ooh, it's an exclusive. I mean, it means it's excluding the people that put the work in, wanting to get this on the ballot, and wanting to have their voice heard. I think it's just if they were to do that today with the Republican controlled House and everything else, or the Republican controlled Senate and governor and everything like that else, I would take that as your vote doesn't matter. We're in control. Screw you. Here's your cookie. Leave us alone.
I see it as the exact opposite. I see it as we hear your voice.
No.
Okay, we're going to push this through. Now, what are you going to do come election day?
Right.
Are there other things you're interested in voting on? I think it's the right move, because you and I have talked about recreational marijuana. Sure. It's time. It's beyond time to legalize it.
Yep.
And it's true from it's the correct piece of legislation, and it's true and it's smart from a strategic move. You're going to get people who might be thinking about going to the polls because this was their one big issue to vote on. They'll probably stay home. It makes sense to do it.
That to me is where the problem comes in. Is you're trying to push those people back out of the voting booth, and
you're not pushing them. You're understanding their motivation.
No.
It's not. Because you're not saying you can't vote.
You can mask it as that. You can say that's the case, but that's not the case. You know it as well as I do. That's them just appeasing the masses to say.
Right.
But
yes,
they're not doing it because they agree with it. They're doing it to cover their ass.
Right. Exactly.
That's not proper.
It's still the right decision, but it's still the right decision to make. This should be legalized. You legalize it. Now, people can decide whether or not they want to vote. That's on the voter. That's on the voter. That's not on the Republicans or the Democrats.
Okay,
that's on the individual
let me change my narrative then.
Okay.
If they do in fact legalize marijuana today for recreational purposes, come August and November when it is time to vote, get out and vote anyway, because they're just doing it to keep you away from the polls. That's all they're doing. They don't want legalized marijuana. They don't care. They're trying to stifle you and your word and your vote. That's what's going on if they try to legalize marijuana today. And I'm sorry, that's the honest
They're not trying to stifle it. It's a strategic ploy, because you got to read the tea leaves. If you're a Republican, you got to go, this is going to pass. Yeah. This is going to pass.
Right.
So you just push it through. You just push it through, so you don't have to worry about it in November. It just makes sense, and I don't see anything wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And we know how voters are, but that's once again, that's on the voter. That's not on the either political party. It just isn't.
Well, let me just say this then. Okay, then I'll leave it at this. They're not doing it. If they push it through, they are not doing it to appease voters or anything else. They are doing it just to keep people away. It is the same thing as let them eat cake.
Yeah. I think because I look at this as sport, I look at politics as sport. It's the right sporting move to make. If you're trying to win, if your objective is to win, then you push this thing through.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about it in November.
But
But I see what you're saying.
But the objective of politics and trying to get into an office to do things is to serve people.
Right.
It's not try to win. It's try to serve people, and it's not try to win for your party. It's not try to win for your. That's not what it's all about. It's to better your community. It's to better the state you live in.
I agree with that, but you can't do that unless you win. If you don't win, you can't do all the things that you think are good for the people, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. You cannot. If you can't win, you can't push through legislation or defeat legislation that you think is good or bad. You got to win before you can do any of those good things.
But this is
okay.
To me, if they push it through today, when they know the vote's coming and they know it's going to pass,
I don't think they will do it. I don't think it's a slap in the face. I don't think they'll do it because I don't think they're smart enough. It's the smart move. It's the right move. It's understanding your constituency that only cares. Bottom line is they care about low taxes. They don't care about any of this other crap. They really don't. They don't care about gay marriage. They don't care about pot. They don't care about transgender bathrooms. They care about low taxes. So you get this thing through, and you forget about it.
See, to me, it comes back to the fact that they don't really care about their constituency. They care about the big money they serve.
I think either party really cares. They're all trying to stay in office, but you do want to win.
Okay.
I don't know.
There you have it.
All right. Anyway, moving on. The Supreme Court on Monday ruled in favor of a Colorado baker who would refuse to create a wedding cake for a gay couple. Justice Anthony Kennedy's majority decision turned on the argument that the Colorado Civil Rights Commission, which ruled against the baker, was hostile toward religion. Kennedy also reaffirmed protections for gay rights, stating, quote, "These disputes must be resolved with tolerance, without undue respect to sincere religious beliefs, and without subjecting gay people to indignities when they seek goods and services in the marketplace." My question in this decision is sincere religious beliefs. And I think this was the right decision, bottom line. But I don't know how you can tell if somebody's religious beliefs are sincere. Basically, you're saying we got to be able to read somebody's mind, whether or not they're doing this because of their religious beliefs. Now, this baker also wouldn't bake Halloween cakes. So it wasn't just, I don't like it. It wasn't just because he disagreed with gay marriage. So I think it's the right decision, but I'm a little iffy on the reasoning behind it.
Well,
I'm a First Amendment absolutist, so
of course you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just wondering. I would have assumed you had some type of take on
let's put
this.
it
What
this
do you
way.
think?
If somebody called me up and they said, "Andy, we'd like a radio spot recorded," I would say, "Are you gay or straight?" Who cares?
Okay, yeah.
I'll record your spot.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Right. There you go. But just let me ask you this. Do you think somebody has the right to your labor? Does somebody have a right to make you do something that
there are people there? I will say this. There are some things I wouldn't do.
Okay.
I wouldn't. There's some things I would politely refuse.
So you and I would both bake the gay wedding cake.
No.
I would bake the gay wedding cake. You'd bake the gay wedding cake. But nobody has the right to demand that I bake the gay wedding cake. You don't have that right. Okay. Because my freedom of speech trumps that. It does. Now, like I said, you throw in another baker is going to bake him a wedding cake, and probably is going to beat this guy and is going to take money out of this guy's pocket. And good for him.
Good, fine.
I think it's a win-win all the way around.
There you have it.
All right. Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles visit to the White House has been canceled due to the national anthem controversy. President Trump made that announcement on Monday. Several players already said they weren't going to go anyway. Now, this is not unprecedented. Boston Bruins goaltender Tim Thomas declined a White House invite in 2012 due to disagreements with Obama policies. I don't think this really matters. I think this is Trump just kind of putting it out there again. He didn't need to do this, bottom line, but it's probably good for him politically to do it because you keep stoking the fires of this. And the policy's in place that, if you're on the field, you got to stand for the anthem. Otherwise you stay in the locker room. And the interesting thing is no Philadelphia Eagles actually kneeled for the anthem this past year. So I don't know what the point of disinviting them was, but
right. I would say though, of the presidential thing, way to be presidential. Keep stoking those fires, because that's what a president's supposed to do. Keep picking at scabs, right?
What you do is
the president's role right there. Let's just keep.
You got to know how to
digging.
combat that. You got to know how to combat that. Otherwise, you're going to deal with him for another 4 years.
Yeah, well,
I'm telling you this.
Picking.
If Democrats don't get it together, they're going to have to deal with him for another 4 years. They got to figure out a way to combat that doesn't antagonize a decent portion of the country, because everybody seems to be falling into this trap, and it's not good. This is not good. We need two strong political parties, and we don't have either political party being strong right now.
No.
Nothing. That's why, Andy O'Reilly, somebody has to fix things in Lansing and or Washington. I'm not endorsing anybody
of course not.
yet. I'm just saying somebody, some hard-headed Irishman
I don't know
maybe
who that would be.
somebody with some horse sense. Finally, a proposal from Muskegon Heights to take over the Muskegon Fire Department could increase the number of firefighters on duty. The proposal also could be more costly. The cost would be approximately $3.6 million over 3 years. That's compared to $3.5 million the city is already paying. Now, there's going to be more firefighters, but I thought the bottom line was cost on this deal. So I don't know how this is a more cost-effective way of doing business. I mean, they say it could benefit both cities.
It's a mess. I don't completely understand it. I read the article a little bit too this morning, and I'm really, I don't like the union busting idea, because there's a big element of that going on here. But they could be in the Muskegon Heights Union Fire, after the whole thing is done. So I don't care for that. I don't know all the nuts and bolts of it, so I don't want to go too far into this. But I will also say that in our area, in the Muskegon area, we've got so many duplicated services. Police and fire, school districts, all this other kind of stuff. I mean, it's just a lot of overhead.
Right.
It's going to take a lot of minds working on stuff to think this through and to figure out a new way. I don't have an opinion to offer on it yet. I wish I had it's a tough one, man.
Right. You're going to have to make some hard choices. But
I will say this, that we've got a lot of duplicated services all over Muskegon. How do we navigate to a better way of providing the same or better service and save money? I don't know.
One or the other is going to take a hit. Is the bottom line. Is you're gonna have tough choices have to be made, and we'll see where it lands.
And let me circle it back around just real quick. I'm going to circle it back around to something. It gets back to the level of money that's coming into these municipalities. And when you look at Muskegon compared to places like Grand Rapids or Holland or anything else, we make about $20,000 less per household a year than surrounding communities. Everybody's wondering where the money's at. Well, I'm telling you, people don't get paid enough here to sustain the level of stuff that we're used to. Right. And that's a problem. That's a big problem. So when everybody's making $12 an hour and you have to start consolidating services in the government compared to what they were used to in 1980 or 1975 or anything like that, that's what we're facing here. Okay? That's a fact.
Yeah, we'll see.
People need better paying jobs so they can, they can put more into the community fund and fund these services the way that they need to be funded properly.
I agree with you, but how do you do you just start giving people more money for doing the same job? And how does that affect the businesses?
That. It's not.
I don't know.
That you just say, here's more money, do the same job. You're investing in your community. You're investing in the people that work for you. You're taking away that gun to their head every day of, do I go to work? Do I stay home and take care of my kid? That revolving door of people in and out of your company because they can make a quarter more down the street and they're going to get treated the same way that they are. Do you know what I mean? If you're compensated better and treated better as an employee, you're going to stick around longer. You're going to do a better job. You're not going to have to focus on what your child care is. You're not going to have to focus on whether or not you're going to be able to afford dinner tonight. You're not going to have to be able to just all I'm asking for in this whole thing is to give people a little bit of breathing room through what they make and give them the option to do a better job for you.
So are you looking at?
Don't just keep them at that level where they can barely get by. They've got just enough to survive on, and then maybe have to have a part-time job on the weekends as well. And just compensate them a little bit better. It's better for your business. It's better for this community, and it's better for everybody overall. This $12 an hour, hey, this is what you get. This is what we pay. That's the way it works. It's grinding us to a screeching halt in Muskegon, and this is what's happening because of it.
I think people got to start. I think people got to start opening up their own businesses. Quite honestly, you're going to have to. We need more entrepreneurs. We need more people who are willing to take risks to do that. But because you're not going to be able to force. It's not like you're going to be able to force business owners to pay their employees more.
You're not going to be able to.
You're going to be employed. You're going to be paid what an employer thinks you're worth.
But you can work to bring in employers that will pay better, and you can take away those good employees from the businesses that won't pay worth
That's
the crap.
true. I mean,
and then what? Oh, but we better get our wages up a little bit, huh?
Yeah,
there you
I
go.
don't know how you incentivize I mean, you got to find a way to incentivize employers to pay more, but I don't know how you go about doing that.
We're finding
because
out.
If they don't have more product to sell, or if they're not, I mean, because they're bottom, you know, if you're a business owner, it's bottom line. It's how much am I making? How much, you know, how much do I got to pay out?
Right.
Or
should it be how much am I willing to pay out? Because I know that in the long run, it's going to pay me. Go back to Henry Ford. Okay. Mm-hmm. Henry Ford could have paid people 50 cents an hour and made sure that he paid people enough to be able to afford the product they were making. He gave them the weekends off. He made sure that they were comfortable enough in their 5-day work week that they could afford the product they were making. He made himself a billionaire in the 20s. Think what that would have been in today's money. A billionaire in the 20s, a billionaire in the 20s, and he turned Detroit into the boomtown that it was.
Well, it was,
just by paying
they were
people
also the only
enough
one
to be able
cars.
to afford what they built.
Right. There also wasn't the competition that there is now, though.
There isn't.
That's the only thing. I mean,
I
see exactly
from the
what
competition.
You're saying. Right. That's a good point. Like it's complicated. And
complicated, but it can be done.
All right. Sports. Yankees, Tigers split a doubleheader. Yankees win game 1 7-4. Actually, Detroit wins game 1. No, New York wins game 1 7-4. Detroit wins game 2.
It was
4-2
too, dummy.
8-4. Oh, sure was it? Okay, you're right. Yeah, they doubled them up. It was 8-4.
Oh.
Gotcha. All right. Aaron Judge, by the way, goes 0 for 8 with 8 strikeouts for the Yankees, which I believe had never been done before in modern baseball history. 0 for 8 with 8 strikeouts. Washington Capitals beat Vegas 6-2. They lead the Stanley Cup 3-1. That's sports.
Have yourself a great Tuesday.
See ya.